For now, I'm going to turn off that.
Hi guys. Can anybody hear me? I think we have one person in call. Um, so we're just going to wait and we're going to wait for 5 to 7 more minutes and then let's see the number of people that are actually going to join the meeting before we begin for today. Hi everyone. Welcome to today's class. I'm giving a grace of 10 minutes, and I don't think we'll have to wait any longer because we have to make sure that we cover responsive design today. So let's begin. The only problem is anybody that's actually going to join after this will have a lot of questions, and I'm sure you guys are always going to help to answer those questions just in case we don't have time. All right, so please signify if you can hear me so that I'm sure that anybody can actually hear me.
Yes, I can hear you, ma. Good
Okay,
afternoon, ma.
good afternoon. All right, can you guys confirm that you can see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I'm going to use this design as an example, right? Hold on a second, let me see. All right, let's begin. So we're talking about responsive design today, and I'm sure we all have an idea about design, right? So I'm just going to, because we really don't have time on our hands, because this is actually going to involve a lot of layout, flexbox, and the rest of it. So I'm not going to be designing a hero section from scratch today. So this is just one of designs that I have, and I'm actually going to use this design to actually explain responsiveness to us. So remember that in the last class I took you guys last week, I talked about auto layout, right? I mentioned that for you to be able to aid responsiveness in your design, you need to make use of auto layout, right? It's more like removing your contents from hug or fix to fill content. I'm going to show you guys when I start with the visually, but I'm trying to explain first of all. So that is why it is really, really very important for you to always put each of your designs in an auto layout, because it makes responsiveness very easy for you. And today I'm also going to be showing you how you can move from a desktop to a tablet and then also to a mobile screen, right? So that is the responsiveness I'm talking about here. It just basically means that if you are actually viewing that screen, if that screen were to be live, for example, if the design is actually going to be live, whoever that's using the tablet is able to view correctly, and then the designs are going to be in place, right? Whoever that is going to be making use of their phone to view the website is actually going to come out well. Why? Because responsiveness is in place. So let's begin. I already have my designs here. So let me show you something. Let me name this desktop so that it is easy for me to. So, you're going to see something, right? You can see that this is not actually moving. Let me try to put my stuff together. Okay. So the thing is, you're supposed to be, it is meant to resize, right? Now, it is the reason why it is actually showing like this is because you can see that when I click on this, I have my hero frame separately, and it is, you see that the designs are not moving with it, right? If you also click on the nav menu, you're going to see that this is moving like this. Now, there's a difference. Why? This is moving because of the way that I actually set it, but there's meant to still be adjustment, because if you look at it, you're going to see that this is fixed. This Fin Smart logo right here is fixed, and when I move it, the only thing that is moving here is what? The rest of the buttons and the menu. But naturally, everything is meant to move together with the frame itself. So now let's get to work. Normally, desktop is set to 14440, as you can see here. That's like the width. So we're going to adjust this and put this to, we're going to set this to fill. Now, it is not in an auto layout, so I need to do that. I only put this in an auto layout. So fill container. Shift A. I'm trying to set this to fill. Okay. I have to remove all of this and then set everything together. So this was just an actual landing page, it was just a full landing page, right? So I did not really like set the main sections to auto layout. You can see that only this is an auto layout. As you can see, it's actually a component, but I didn't set the main. So now I have to also make the section, the main frame itself, into an auto layout for it to be responsive however way I drag it, right? Because you can also see that people view with different screens, just like you have different screen sizes of laptop, right? So you always want to make sure that this is responsive. So it means that this actually has to go. So now I've put this in an auto layout. I'm going to set it to 32, set it to 24. So I'm going to set it to let me give it a color. Okay. Now, can you see that however way I drag it, it resizes? Why? Because I've actually turned everything into an auto layout. So now this is done. The next thing we're going to do is this hero section. This hero section is actually in, wait, okay, this is set to auto, right? Okay, spread even. So you can see that it depends. When you're trying to make use of auto layout, you can actually set auto depending on how you want your design to be. But because I want this actually spread evenly, right? However way I get to resize it, it follows suit. Can you see? right? So now let's work on this hero section. Hero section, let me start with this. I have to make sure that each of the text actually what in an auto layout. So let me start with the, remember I only did the main content itself. I did not do the box house and the content, which means I also have to change the box. So it means I'm going to bring this outside. Okay, if I do that, the text will not be seen properly. So let me just adjust it inside first before bringing it outside. So this is set to auto fixed. You can see that I'm changing it to fill because I want it to fill however way I resize. This is fill. Each of the text has to be set to fill. This is already set to, okay, so these buttons don't really matter because however size it is, however way I resize, it's always going to remain like, so even if I resize it down to a mobile screen size, this is always going to fit in a mobile screen. Do you understand? So there's no need of actually setting these buttons to fixed. Now let's work on this. So this is actually a card I designed, but it would be better to make this an image. So this is going to be an image instead of, because if I don't make it an image, it means that I have to start resizing all of these things, which is going to be a lot actually. So if it is, it's always better when it's an image, right? So I'm going to do this and this. So what I did is Control D. I'm trying to duplicate. I'm going to download it and then make it a. So let me change it to image. Sorry. Right hero card. So I'm actually going to download this. So that it comes in as an image. Okay. So now I have my image downloaded. Let me bring it in. Because most of the time you're actually going to be working with images. You see all those kind of, now it's an actual image. So this is the one that we had before. This is the one that is not an image. So let's move this here. Now this is the actual image itself. So I'm going to resize this because I want it to fit in here. So why I'm actually changing this to an image, because a lot of times it's actually image you're going to use. So you see that there are some websites that you look at and then you see a dashboard, mostly SaaS projects, SaaS websites, fintech kind of websites. You get to see a snippet of the dashboard in the hero section. Do you understand? Just as a design. A lot of times that dashboard is actually designed, right? It is being designed. It's even the normal dashboard when it comes to like the full application. So whatever dashboard you are seeing on that hero section is exactly how dashboard is going to be like if you were to use the exact website or mobile application. Do you understand? So a lot of times when they are done doing that, they download it and turn it into an image because it is actually better. You can't have so many text on it. It has to be what represented with what an image. So that's why I'm changing this to an image so that it is relatable. I only left this here because this was just a design for me and I fully understood it. So I'm going to copy, and I'm going to paste to replace. Now you can see it is looking like this because it has not been fully resized. So I'm going to resize this. Now you can see that as I'm resizing it, this is adjusting itself. Can you see that, right? That's the good thing about Response. You see, it is resizing however way to fit the box because it's already in an auto layout. So now it depends on how bold you want it to be, right? So let me remove this. This is just the image. So let's just keep this image somewhere else. Okay. So we have our design now. So I'm going to set this to fill container, and I'm going to set the image to fit, right? Because I want it to be responsive. But now there's an issue. What's the spacing here? Okay, I want the spacing to be 100. So now let's try and see. Something is wrong. Can you see? So you can see that the image is the one that is increasing, which is supposed to be like this. So let's fix that. Okay, so I'm supposed to put this in an auto layout. Then the image should be this, then the auto layout. So let me name this. That says right card. Sorry, right hero image. Okay, so now it's in an auto layout and I'm going to set it to fail. So let's see. Now, can you see that it is done? So it means that however way I resize this is going to fit. You can see that when I make it longer, it balances, which means that if you're viewing this with a larger screen, it is going to actually fit in well. Can you see? If I reduce it, it fits. The only thing now is that I might have to do this, but I'm going to show that in the next screen size. This is basically just to show you that for tab. So let me go back. Why is this resizing? Okay, this is not complete. Okay, so you can see that however we were pushing it, it is moving. Can you see? So we have that fixed. So I'm going to set the desktop itself. So you know how there are different ways actually to design a lot of things. People design differently, right? You can see that I designed my hero section card separate. Now, I'm trying to explain something to you guys so that you don't ask me, oh, why is it separate? There are different ways you can design. If you recall that the last class, I did not separate it like this. This is what I did in the last class. I'm trying to explain so that it doesn't confuse you guys. It's just to let you know that there are different ways you can actually design. Now, this is what I did in the last class. Let me put this back normally and explain. It's moving with this because I did not. Okay. Okay. I'm still going to make adjustment to this later, but I'm trying to show you something. So there are people that actually design this separately, right? They just bring in their desktop frame. They design their hero section separately, just like I did here. You can see this is separate. Why is this moving with this? Okay, because I put the desktop inside it. Can you see? So I'm bringing it out. Now, so people design separately, right? They can design their hero card section differently, and then they'll just bring it inside. So when they are done designing here, let me Control D, they'll just bring it. So for example, they just designed their hero card. This is how they want the card to be. They'll just bring it inside the desktop, right? To fit the container. That's it. Then the next thing is what? Their nav bar. Whatever way they designed it, they'll just Control D it, right? I'm using Control D because I already have it, but they'll just design it and just bring it in here and then fit it. Do you understand? They already set the constraint, send the spacing and whatever. Now, if you don't really want to do it this way, if you don't want to do it this way, what you can also do is you can design outside. So when you have your components, your navbar component outside, you design it and just bring it inside. That means you can design in the canvas, it's in the frame itself. Sorry. So instead of you having to, I know you guys will have questions, but just you can put them down in the chat box so that I don't forget. So that you don't forget, I mean. So even if you don't want to use this method, right? Once you bring in your frame, you design your hero card, right? The next thing you're doing is what? You're bringing in another frame to do what? To design your hero section inside. So that means you are designing everything inside. You come here and you're writing whatever it is you write. What is manage your money smarter? You come here, you're saying whatever you're saying, manage, blah, 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 and the rest of it. So you are doing everything in here. It's actually the same thing, it's just a different method. It's the same thing because this, at the end of the day, whatever frame you're doing this frame is still inside what? Inside this desktop. Do you understand? And this one is still what? Inside the desktop. So they are both the same thing. It's just like cooking stew, like I always use an as an example, but you're using different method, but you still arrive at the same what? At the same stew. The most important thing is make sure that all you're doing is actually what? In an auto layout. To aid what? Responsiveness. That's just what you need to make sure of. Okay, so let's continue. I'm going to delete that and I'm going to bring in my hero section into this place. So why I don't like this method sometimes is because you can go overboard with this. So you need to start setting each of them to 1,440 and it can be really stressful at times. So Control Z, what just happened? Okay. Then another thing is you have to resize this to fit. So most times they just hide what? The white color. That's the white background color for the desktop. Okay. So I'm trying to make sure that everything fits. The lines are the same. That's one thing about this method that I don't like. You always have to make sure because this one might go up, overboard and all of that. So now that we have this, so let's try. Now, if you look at your frame, you're going to see that this card is not inside the desktop. A lot of times when you are designing, you will not know where the problems come. So you always have to check your words. I have a lot of stuff going on here, but this is basically this is the hero section, and this is the what? The desktop. Desktop is desktop 5. So let's just limit to main desktop. Now, under main desktop, you can see this frame here. That's the nav bar. You can see that it's inside. So we have that. Now, this is the only thing that is in this desktop, which means that this hero section here is not inside this desktop. So if I resize the desktop, the hero section will not work. Now let me show you guys. Can you see what's happening? Can you see? So now I have to bring in this hero section inside the desktop. So now you have everything inside the main desktop, right? So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to click on the main desktop and I'm going to resize. So something is wrong. Why is it not resizing? Okay, I'm supposed to put it in an auto layout. Shift A. Yeah. So you can see that's why it wasn't resizing. So you see that as you increase, the spacing at the left and the right side is increasing. Can you see that? It is because you set whatever this you set to be like this, right? And you can see that it is resizing to fit this. Just the way you set this to auto, no matter how much you increase it, it follows suit. So no matter how much you increase it, you see that it follows. It increases the way you want it to be. So even if I am using a desktop, right? Maybe a curved desktop or a normal desktop to view this design, it is actually going to resize it. This is exactly what so this is basically what responsive, this is what responsiveness is all about. So I'm going to resize this back to 1440 and then we move to the next one. Oh, I made a mistake. Yeah, so we have our design here. Is there any question on this before I move ahead to tablet? Any question on this before I move to tablets? No questions, right? Okay. Later, when you're done with the responsiveness, you can always adjust the spacing and whatever. But for now, I'm trying to explain responsiveness to you guys. So we're going to move to tablet. Okay, instead of bringing in a frame, I can just click on this, right? And duplicate. So when I duplicate it, I have another one here. It's just to make it easy for me. You know why? Because if I bring in a new frame tablet, I have to start setting that one to auto layout again. But I already have this, so just for me to just adjust it. So I'm going to click on the frame, go here, and then look for iPad. Okay, so let's use iPad Pro 11. Now, can you see? You can see that automatically this resized, but now let me zoom in. This is where you now make adjustments. This automatically resized, but we also have to reduce the spacing so that this will come out well. Can you see? So now let's work on it. Spacing, let me reduce spacing to 12. I have to reduce each of the spacing. So each of the spacing is 8. Okay, let me remove that. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to reduce the spacing so that it fits. Okay. Now I need to adjust these buttons. Now this button, I set it to 12. I want to maintain the padding. I don't want the padding to be different. 1612, this is 1612. So I'm going to click on this. I'm trying to resize so that I understand what's going on here. Okay, spacing between this is 12. This is set to fill container. Now let me so because this is a component, that's the issue now. That means I have to go to the main component. So now I need to make it a non-component. That's the only way. So I'm going to detach instance. I need to make everything. Yeah. So I have this now. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste it here. So if it were to be like an actual project that you're working on and you already made this like an auto layout, right? What you need to do is you just need to go to your main component, right? When you go to your main component, you're going to be able to fix it there. So let me work on this here. It's not letting me resize. This is inside navigation bar. Okay, logo is set to fill. This is set to hug. Okay. I hope you guys know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to set this so that it is so if everything is set to okay. I think I might have to I don't want to reduce the text. So when I come here and I click on this, and I click on this, it is not sizing properly. What's the spacing here? Okay, I give a spacing of 24. Okay, 32. It means I have to go to the main component. And I don't want to do that because I already set it for a design. Okay. So this is the previous way it was. Okay. Let me do this first, then I'll come back to that. So we're going to resize this to fit. Now, we didn't give it a spacing here. You can see there's no vertical and horizontal padding space for this, but let's adjust the image first. No, it is already set to fill. The image. Now, another thing is because this is tablet, all you need to do now is to start reducing the size of this because you don't want this to look like this, right? So we're going to reduce this to should we use 48? 44. Okay, this can remain like this. So this is the same. There's no need to set this to fill because it's button, so they can always like adjust itself. So now we're going to give it spacing. I don't want a gap between these items, so I'm going to remove it. And why I remove this is that spacing between what the image, I put this image in another layout. So this is the spacing between the image itself, and then the frame housing the image. So I'm going to remove that. So spacing between this is 48, and then I'm going to set this to middle, and I might want to, I don't have to, I cannot give a spacing of 100 for this one because this is tablet. So let me say spacing between sections is going to be 48. So you have this. What is showing this? Something is showing here. Okay, this is the hero section card that okay. If you still want to, I don't want to add space here. You know why? Because I already have space here, like for this image. So I think it is okay like this, even if you try to view. Let me preview it and see. So you can always make adjustment to your spacing and, exactly how you want it to look like. Okay. I think it's okay, guys. What do you think? So there's no breathing space here. There has to be spacing by the left. So we can always adjust that particular spacing. Okay. But now let's check if it's responsive. Can you see only one is responsive? The hero section is not responsive. You see, it's not because I've not fixed it yet. But now we're done with this, and let me fix the. Okay. So now to fix this hero section, let's see. Okay. Okay. Let me click on the main desktop. Okay. So now it's working, but there's a problem. This has not been fixed yet. You can see that it is responsive now. So it means that I can actually make this responsive to fit the size of a desktop, right? Let me change this to tablet. You can see that it is actually resizing with the what? The only thing is the image is the issue. So let me work on this. Let me fill the image. It's meant to be Okay, I think I set this to fill here. Let's see. So a lot of times you're always going to make adjustments to fit exactly what you want. So this is good, but it is not moving because I have set the constraint of this to what? To auto. So that means as long as it's like this, however way you actually try to resize this, it fits already. So another issue now is we need to work on this nav bar, because you can see when I try to go back to my tablet size, you can see what's going on here. It is going in. And this is because this is actually a component. But I don't want to touch the main component. But most of the time what you do is when you resize this, I don't want to. Okay, let me remove all of them. I've removed it. Why is it set to middle? Control Z. Okay. All contents. This is meant to fill in the box. Okay. Let me see. Okay. So now it's done. So I had to detach the instance of the component and then also adjust this and make sure that is inside the card. But another thing is that there's no spacing. Can you see it is too close? There's no spacing here. If you come here, you're going to see that there's spacing, right? And this was set to auto. So let's do this. Set to auto. So why is it showing me um I don't want it fixed. mm, okay. I had to remove it from auto so that it is set evenly. So let's see. See, there's a problem. Which means it's not going to work. This has to set to. Okay. I don't like that this is moving like this. What's the normal frame for this tablet? 834. Okay. Let me set to the normal. Okay. Where is my button set to? Okay. Cannot be this way. So this and this is since this is whole content, let's see. Where is it going left? Ew. Let me see. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So the only issue that we have here now is setting the spacing between this menu bar and this. Okay. You know, I detached this, this is still a component, but I removed this component here. So now I need to go back here to see what I set this to be. Okay. Okay. Okay, I see what's this. Yeah. So now I'm gonna, okay, so that's, so what I did basically is, let me check first. So you can see that it is now perfect, right? The spacing in between these and everything is perfect. So buttons, just like how you set buttons to fix, you don't put buttons in fill because however way you're going to resize, buttons will always remain buttons, right? So that's exactly why this is actually set like that to this logo, because even if I'm going to actually put that into a another screen, which is the next one is going to be mobile, this will always fit in like this. So there's no point of putting it in an auto layout, like making it responsive or making it move. If you check it, and again, also this particular nav bar is set to auto here. So it spreads evenly across all of them, the logo, the menu, and then the buttons itself. So another thing I think I want to do is I want to do this. I want to put padding space in this because I feel like this is not enough. The other thing I do most times is I would like to present my designs, right, or preview them. It makes you see exactly how it looks and then see if there's any adjustment, whatever that you also need to do. So I think this is looking good actually, but it's looking left aligned, right? Okay. All right. So any questions before we move to the mobile screen? I need you guys to ask me questions. So you people are not saying anything.
Okay, hello, ma.
Go ahead.
Okay. Um, let me. I'm going to speak for myself. Um, what we did was good from the desktop down to the tablet. I try as much as possible to follow up because sometimes you cannot get it, trying to feel effect changes. So to me, I feel it's a little bit complex. I was unable to grab everything at once, to be
Okay.
honest. Because
Well, the truth is, sorry to cut you short. I expected this. That's why I asked the question from the website. And when I was designing the desktop screen, I said any questions, but nobody asked me a question, and I had to move ahead to the tablet. You cannot grasp
I
this
was
at
still,
once.
is it,
That's the reason why when there is
what
a
you said,
hold on. You cannot grasp all of this at once. That's the truth. Auto layout is really, really something you need to calm down and learn. You can see that when you're setting one thing, another thing is going wrong. You need to always make sure that everything aligns at the end of the day, right? It is only like this for me because I have used this a number of times. So I always know how to like manipulate and then set everything right, or like figure out where exactly an error is coming out from. So don't expect to grasp this at once. Responsiveness and scalability is not really easy when you're using auto layout, because now you need to also be able to know what you're going to set to fit, know what you're going to be able to set to fail. But the good thing about this is if you can do this, you will definitely understand development if you want to go into front-end development, or you're trying to make use of a low-code tool to build a website. If you can do this, you would definitely know how to use a local tool. That's the good thing. So it's just practice, 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 and you're going to get better. Yeah, go ahead, Albaka.
Um, all right now. So like I am just trying to do this for confirmation purpose because like every of the steps that you've been like taking, I try to like note them down. So like let's say I'm working on a project, then I want to work on a land page, something similar to this.
Mm-hmm.
Um so like the necessary steps to like make it responsive. So is it that like fine, I'm going to use an auto layout. So
Mm-hmm.
is it that every element I have, both probably my text,
Yeah,
my button, my image, every stuff, will be like I'm going to add auto layout to them one, but each of the elements is going to be in a fill form, like filling container form, right?
exactly.
And then the probably like the model frame will now be in a fixed form, or
No,
am I right?
the model frame was set to fail.
Will also be
The
set
only
to fill.
thing, see, anything fill basically means that however way I resize it to come back to normal.
Okay.
Fix basically means that no matter how you resize it, it remains the same.
Okay.
Which means that I set my buttons like this. You can see my buttons are fixed.
Yes.
Now let's go to the text. My text is fill.
Fill.
When I go to this other text, it is fill.
Fill. Okay.
Which means that you are going to put all of your text in an auto layout. That's why a lot of people. So let's design this again so that you guys will understand better. This is it, Abby.
Yes.
Are you guys following? Okay. Remember, we don't use 0004 because of contrast sake. So I'm going to look for another shade of black to use.
Mm.
Now I have my text, right? Shift A. I'm going to put it on auto layout. Now I want it left aligned in the design, right? I think you guys are having difficulty because I did not design this thing with you guys. That's why. But if I had done that, we would not have gotten here. So I don't want all this padding space because it is a text. Do you understand? I also don't want this horizontal gap between them. I don't need it because it is what? A text. So I'm going to remove everything, and then also you want it left aligned, right? So I set it to what? Left alignment. I'm going to put it left aligned top, not middle. Now we have that. The next is what? Our cards, Abby.
Yes.
Now let's type in the card. We have use simpler cards, set limits, approve payments. I'm going to still reduce the size. Pay vendors. And save up to 5% on average. Okay. So because this is a lower text, I'm going to set this to regular, and I'm going to reduce this to 24. I think I want to use medium for this so that it blends. It's another topic on its own, typography. So because this is going over, I'm going to do this. So I did. I'm trying to balance the height of this with this. Do you understand? Because having that saved there would have made it a bit longer. I know I'm going to set. So now I have this text here already, right? I don't want to use 000, so I'm going to choose any shade. Now, Shift A, auto layouts. I'm going to remove every padding space because I don't want it, right? Including the horizontal spacing because it is a text. I'm going to set this to what? Auto layout. Now I have this. Now you see I'm designing everything one by one. Now I cannot start designing all these buttons. So let me just copy the buttons and place it there. Control D. Then I'm going to move these buttons. So now I have my buttons here. Let me put this as, this is a component. If I mess with it, to mess with my design. So let me leave it like that. Now this button is already set an auto layout, right? Okay, let's put this to middle left alignment. You can always make adjustments when you now present. So now we have everything ready, right? So the next thing to do is what? We need to put everything into a what? An auto layout, like a proper auto layout. So I'm going to hold shift and then put this in an auto layout. So I'm going to set spacing to 16, right? Because I want it 16. Now, when you do that, you now click on the second one and then it's already automatically to fill safe. But the first one is not fill, right? So I'm going to come here and set it to what? Fill container. Now, I'm going to click on two of them. This is the frame housing both of them. Shift, add button, Shift A. Spacing I want between the button is what? 24. Right? Now I have this. And I don't, remember I said you don't need to put buttons in fill, whatever. Why? Because if you do that, it's going to resize your buttons for you. It's going to stretch it. And we don't want that, right? Because that's not how I want our buttons to look like, one. And then two, however frame size you're using, this button size will always fit. Do you understand? So if I bring in an iPhone, I'm bringing an iPhone 13 mini right here, this button will always fit. Control D. Can you see? It's fitting the framework. So there's no point of me making it feel or trying to stretch it. Do you understand? That's the reason why most times we always leave what? Buttons to be fixed. So now that's that. Then you have the card, right? Another thing you need to also do is to what? Make each of these text what? Fill. Remember the text, I put them in an auto layout first. Do you understand?
Yes.
Abubakar, are you following? Okay.
Yes, I'm following.
So this text now, I'm going to double click on it. If you click on, you're going to see that this is actually the frame. That's the auto layout that is housing the text. When you click on the text itself, you now set to what? To fill. Now, let's stretch. Can you see that it's now stretching? Can you see? This is just what responsiveness means. However, you see that this is, let's set it to that mobile screen size. Mobile screen size is what? 375. Okay. Let me set this one 375. Can you see? The button fits perfectly. Do you understand now, guys? That is why I said the only thing you now need to do is that if you're now trying to resize whatever screen size you are resizing, the only thing you need to do is to what? Reduce. You can see when I went from desktop to tablet, I had to reduce the size of this because you cannot use the same 67 or 68 whatever you have here for this. Do you understand? You can see that the way this image is not the same way it is here. So the only thing you need to change a lot of times is just to reduce the text size and then everything will fit. If I bring in this here, right, you're going to see, let me delete this button here. If I bring this into this mobile screen, see how it looks. It's too big now. You know our design cannot be like this. So that's why I said most times what you need to do is just when you click on the text itself, just adjust it to fit. You can see that it looks better, right? Then you stretch it. Can you see? This is the reason why I say most times we leave what buttons to be like this. You see that this smaller text is somehow, can you see how it's like? So you also need to work on this. You might want to reduce it to maybe 20. You see? You can see there's a lot more better. So that's basically that's what I'm trying to do here, right? I'm setting everything to fit. Abubakar, is that clear? Do you understand now?
Yes. Everything is clear.
So if you were to be designing this in your design, that's why I said people design differently. Depends on how comfortable you want. There are people that will design their cards outside, right? A lot of times for me, I like to design outside before I bring it into. That's why you saw that this is actually different. I design them outside and bring it in. Do you understand? So, any other questions? With time, you're going to get better. You just need to practice, right?
Yes,
You
I have
cannot
one
learn.
question.
Okay, Charles, go ahead.
You mentioned that you like designing outside the Canva frame, outside your frame rather. So while you are designing outside the frame, would you not have double frame on the frame that you would like to use, since you already created some frames outside?
No. Let me bring in a desktop. This is my desktop, right?
Yeah.
I have designed this card. Now let me resize it to fit. Right?
Yeah.
Now when I do this, I'm going to bring in my image. Let me Control D because I might need this image later. So I'm going to bring this image here. Shift K, and I resize my image to fit. I'm assuming, you know that this is, if it is actually like a tablet, it has to be bigger than this. So I'm just leaving it like this for practice sake to show you what I mean. So when I bring it in here, I'll hold Shift down and put them in an auto layout. First of all, remove this. I'll hold Shift down, click on this, and then put it in an auto layout. Right?
Yeah.
Depending on how you want. If you want to be in the middle or you want it to be at the top, depending on how you want it set. It's meant to be bigger than this, but you can see that it's not aligning with the image self. That means we have to increase it. That's another thing with design, because if you get used to, that's what they say, practice makes perfect. You need to keep designing, it will get to a point that you just look at your design and you can be able to see what exactly is wrong. Something is off here, and it is just the stuff, this card. Exactly. So this is how I want it to be, right?
Yeah.
So it depends if you want it like this. So what I do is, you can see that now I have already put it in an auto layout. Oh. Can you see? This box is what is housing two of them, right? This frame is housing both of them. This is what I got when I put these two into an auto layout. It gave me this frame. Do you understand? So the spacing between this and this is what? 30. That's this place here. Can you see that line showing up?
Yes. Yes.
So what I do is I just bring it into my what? My frame. That's what I mean. Do you
Okay.
understand? Exactly. You don't need to put it in another frame again, no, because this is already housed. So when you do this, let me bring it out first. Now
So
it
you
is
mean
outside. Now
auto
it is
layout?
outside. This desktop is desktop 5, right? So let's assume that we already have our nav bar here. I want to bring in my hero section. I'll just bring it here. Because you have set this thing to fit, you can always resize it to fit whatever. It is not fit yet because I did not set this image to fit. Do you understand? You see that the image is fixed. So fill container, image is set to fit. So now let's try again. I don't like when it does this. This is one of the problems of resizing images. This is one of the problems. Why is it giving me? Okay. See what is wrong. What I set it to, that's what is housing both of them, is set to fixed. Can you see? Hold on. This is fill. Okay, this is fixed. That's why you see that something will be wrong. You just need to check. Do you understand? Because sometimes you might likely forget and be like, oh, I didn't put this in an auto layer. That's why it's doing like this. So, but by the time you get used to it, you'll be able to know your onions. That's how it works. So once I bring it in here, there's no other frame again now. I'll just want it to be in the middle, right? I'll use my alignment and it's already in the middle. My nav bar is going to be up here. And then that's it. And then by the time you now click on it, so what people do most of the time is when they are done designing the full landing page. So you know that it's going to be section by section. Let me carry this up. So you understand what I'm saying. You know, if you're designing landing page, this is just hero section. Landing page, you keep increasing the height. I hope you know that. Charles.
Yes.
Okay. So when you keep increasing the height, you now have different sections. Now, this is what, let's assume this is hero section, right? The next thing after hero section is what? According to our nav bar. About us. So what you do is, this is the right way. I'm actually showing you guys. Let's assume you have designed your about us, right? You design it outside and you bring it in here. You put it in here. When you design it outside, you bring it in here just like this, right? And then rename it. You have what? About us. The next one is what? Resources. Let's assume you design your resources outside. You bring it in here and you have it here. You have your what? Resources. So when you are done, what people do is they click, make sure everything is inside the desktop frame. They click on the frame and they put it into an auto layout. You know why? To ensure that spacing between each sections is the same. I want my spacing to be 100. So now you see that spacing between here and here will be the same. If I want to, maybe I want to do a footer, right? So let me Control D. This is now the footer, right, of the landing page. It will take up what? The same. Listen, this makes your work come out very well. Do you understand? So now, as long as you have set everything to auto layout, however way You see that there's a problem. That's why it's doing this thing that it's doing because of this image. That's why it's doing like this. I did not work on that. But what I'm saying is, when you set everything well, if you resize it, it comes out beautifully well. Do you understand? And then also, if you don't want to put everything on auto layout, just remove the auto layout. And then when you ungroup it, oh my God, what did I do? Control Z. When you remove the auto layout, you just manually use your hand and set the spacing by yourself. That's another option.
So I have one more question.
Okay.
Creating a landing page, does it mean we'll create more screens like a mobile app, or we'll just fix everything in the landing page and use the prototypes section to connect each section together? I don't know if you get my question.
Sorry, I didn't know I was on mute. I get your question, but you want me to show you one of my personal designs to explain, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so can you guys still see my screens? I changed my screens. Can you see that?
Yes, it's loading.
Okay. Now, this is a UX audit that I did on a website. My canvas is not always arranged, so just leave it like that, guys. My canvas is always scattered. So, I want to show you guys something. So I already copied it. Let me paste it here. Figma, what is wrong? Oh, it actually loaded. Figma is hanging these days, guys. I don't know what's wrong. So this is a landing page I designed for a job board, like when you're looking for jobs and all that. Now, I have not set responsiveness in this, but everything's in an auto layout. You can see that I have different sections. This is my nav bar, right? Of course, it's going to be like a component for me because it's easy for me. I have my hero section, right? Now, I also have, according to what I have here, it's going to show, this is exactly how it's going to work. You have your menu here, so you're going to work according to how your menu is. Sometimes you don't have to follow this, right? But a landing page is meant to show exactly what the website is all about. That's the reason for a landing page. Users are able to understand. It should also prompt CTAs. So it's just like when you get into a company and then the receptionist is like the forefront of the company. Do you understand? So that's why people say when you're trying to employ a receptionist, that she has to be very beautiful, she has to be very this, because that's like the forefront. So people have to be able to see exactly what the website is all about from your landing page. As you can see, my landing page is different sections. I designed this outside and I bring it in here. Can you see? You can see that it's movable. I did not put everything on auto layout though. Like I told you guys, I don't like to do that. I just set my my spacing manually. I'm just used to it. Now, this is another section, right? This is the download the app section. You can see that I put everything in different. That's what I was trying to explain to you about. This is testimonials, right? I put everything in an auto layout. Then this is the image. This is just like this is how the mobile application will look like. Can you see? You can see this is how the landing page looks like. This is the hero section here. And you can also show that in the word. This is just show that it is mobile responsive. That is what this is all about. Then I have my footer. So you can see that it is not like it's different screens. It's just a landing page is a one-pager, usually a one-pager website. Do you understand? There are some businesses that you see, when you click on it, you're going to see only that. So the only thing you're going to prototype here are the buttons. When I click on search, it's meant to show me, okay, I think I prototyped this. I don't know. Let me see. I don't know if I still prototyped it. Can you see? I think I prototyped the buttons. When I click on the buttons, it gives me this. When I click here, it gives me this. Can you see? So this is how it will now look like on like a normal website. This is how it's going to look like. Right? Can you guys see what I'm doing, Charles?
Yes, I can see it. I can see it.
Okay. So you can see that everything, auto layout also makes your work really, really aligned. Looking at it, you can see that everything is actually balanced. Can you see? If you're trying to make use of icons, you also need to make sure that every icons are of the same size on the different cards. So many things come together to make a website or a mobile design. It is not one. So like you are picking pieces. If it is Layer will say, I don't know if you guys, Layer is like a senior designer in the industry. Layer says something, said all your component is what makes up your design, which is true. That is why if you make your first component, all these cards are actually components actually. So once I design one card and make the component, it's easy for me to replicate what the rest. If you're able to do the cards very well, your designs will come out very well. So if you click on this, you're going to see that, okay, this is not, I did not prototype this one. So it's just because it's a one-pager website, it's just the buttons I'm going to do. So if this were to be a real website, it's going to prototype in a way that if you click here, you enter your email, and once you click here, it sends it. Do you understand? Another thing that it's actually going to do for you is you cannot apply now because it's a one-pager website. Sorry, this place you cannot apply now because it's a one-pager, but this is a full website. I'm just trying to explain if it were to be an actual one-pager website, because some people will come to you like a paid project. There are jobs that can come to you and say, oh, please, can you design just a one-page website for my business? Like maybe all these and mostly entrepreneurs, like business owners, they tell you, okay, I just want a landing page just to show as a forefront to people that this is exactly what my business entails. Do you understand? So this is where it comes. This is where you now design a landing page for them. Do you understand? Yes, it would have some hover effects like this, but it will not really like be clickable. Do you understand? There's some things that will not be there. Like for example, you're not going to include job title, keywords, key location. Do you understand? It's just basically if it was a food website, for example, now menu will be here. Then you have to prototype it in a way that once a user hovers on the menu button, they are able to see the list of menu. Do you understand, Charles? Is it clear now?
Yes. Yes,
So this is
yes.
exactly what a one-page website is. So this is a full landing page. So where it will now come, a full website is now where you have plenty screens. Now, if it's this way, this is actually a full website. Okay, I think I did another page of it. Okay. So I want to show you guys an example. Okay, this is another screen that I designed. So this is the job search page. It means that once they click on job search, it takes them to this page. Now let me prototype it. So it's giving me navigate to job search. I don't want it instant. I want it smart animate. I'm going to use I can't see this fully. Okay. I'm going to use slow and I'm going to use 800. Let's see. Now I have prototyped it, right? Now let me show you. So let me present. So when I click here, This is why I don't like Figmas. This is what shows up. Can you see, guys? It is a bit slow. So I'm going to go back and make it a bit fast. I don't like that it's too slow. You have made me to deviate. Charles, we're not teaching prototype.
Sorry. It's all
No, that's fine. It's so that you can understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
Okay, so I need to go back to the main screen. This is the main screen, right? So let's present. Now we have our main screen here. So I'm just going to go here. Once I click on this, now it is better. Can you see? So this is exactly, wow, this is a mistake here. It's not meant to be. Okay, this is, there's a hover effect here. So if I want to prototype this back, what I'm going to do is, you know, when you go to websites, once you click on the logo, it takes you to the home page. Do you know?
Yes.
So let me just show that for, you know. So now I've prototyped it to this page and I'm going to do the same thing here. So now let's see. So when I click here, this is the home page. When I click on job search, it takes me to job search page. So now this is how a full website looks like, right? So you have to also design multiple screens using the website frame. Do you get? So you see how I designed for job search. You're also going to design a screen for how it's for recruiter, right? You're going to design a screen for profile, that's for settings. You're also going to have a dashboard. You're going to show it, so because this job search now, you have shown job search. This is exactly how it's going to look like. They will select whatever country. If it's entry level, their job type, blah blah blah. Then they click on apply now. You are going to design another screen of how apply now will look like. That is how a full website has like multiple screens. It's a full plain website. Do you understand, guys? So this is basically what it means. So let's go back to our responsiveness because we're not teaching prototype today. So any other question on this before I move forward? You now understand this. You just need to go and practice more, guys. When you practice more, you're going to be able to understand responsiveness. Trust me. You cannot get it all fully. I'm not saying it's not possible. Right? I'm just being factual here. You cannot fully understand it at like at the first glance or like instantly. No, you need to practice for it to be better. Because when you practice and you see your mistakes, you're going to actually understand what it is. So we have our desktop, we have our tablet. So the next thing I'm going to do is what? Mobile screens. So any question before I start the mobile screen, please? Okay, I take it that there's no question. So I'm going to go here and then change my stuff to iPhone. And yes, I'm going to start working on this. So when it comes to navbar, right? If you're designing a landing page if you're trying to make a landing page responsive when it comes to iPhone, when it comes to like a phone frame, usually you can't display all of your menu because of the screen size. So what do? You represent your menu with what? An icon. I'm going to go here. I'm going to look for, let me use Iconify plugin. Now I'm trying to get a menu icon. Okay. So I'm going to search for menu. Now I like Iconify, sorry, because it has like a lot of different, you can see we have material symbols, we have Google material icons, we have material design icons, so different types. That's why I like huge icons are here as well. Different icons are here, right? So that's why I actually love it. But We're not looking for, so usually when you're working on a particular project, it's always good to like choose where all your icons come out from. So if you choose to use huge icons, it means that every icon that's going to be represented in that design is going to come from what? Huge icons. Do you understand? But for this sake, we're just going to just search generally. Now this is my menu icon. I'm just going to pick one. Now you can see there are different formats. That's another thing. So if you also need to pick a format that suits your design, you can see that when it comes to our designs, I'm using rounded buttons. My buttons are rounded. When it comes to my cards are rounded. My inside cards here are rounded. Are you seeing, guys? This is just to maintain what visual hierarchy. So I'm not going to pick a menu like this because it doesn't fit. Do you guys understand? So you're going to actually have to pick a menu that's what? Rounded. This is good, but it's too bold. So I'm going to go with the spacing between this is too much. So I'm going to go with this. Right? So let me go back to our mobile screen size. Now I have selected it. I'm going to scroll down. This stuff is blocking my view. Okay. So the size is, I need to take this up. Oh my gosh. So I'm using size 24. This is what I'm trying to show you guys. So import as a frame, import as a component, you choose whichever way that you want. I want it to be in black, so I'm going to import it as a frame. Now you see that my menu is here. Remember that you're also going to click on wherever you want it to be. So even if you want it to be on this canvas, right? If you want to be on the canvas, you just click on it and then click on import, right? It's going to be on the canvas. So that's that. We've gotten our menu. So now let's get right into it.
It actually didn't come on your Canva. It's on your page.
It's on the frame, yes, because I put it here.
No, the other one, the second one.
The second one is there. You just need to
Check.
look for it.
No, it's on your screen.
What is on my screen? Okay. I've seen it.
Right?
So I'm going to click on this and remove. Okay. So I'm going to hide this. I'm also going to hide this button. So, let me just delete it because we don't actually need it. So you know what's happening here now, because this is not an auto layout. So I'm going to use absolute positioning, right, to place this. But normally if I'm supposed to be designing this, I'm supposed to bring this stuff outside, remove the auto layout, put them together. Do you want me to do that, or you want me to use absolute positioning?
Use the two.
Okay. All right. So let me duplicate this. I'll bring it out and show you guys. Where is it? Okay. So I have it here, right? So I'm going to remove my auto layout. Remember that this is still set to fill. Let me remove this first. I need to work. This is still there's an auto layout here. Can you see? Okay, this frame is no longer an auto layout, but this is an auto layout and it has a spacing of 8. I need to remove the auto layout. because I want this to stay, right? So I'm going to bring in my icon here, right? I think the spacing is a bit much. Now, whatever way you are adjusting is, make sure that you're using the same size. You can see that here we gave a padding space. My padding space is 24. No, this has been adjusted. Let's use the full one. So when I click here, okay, you're going to see that padding space is 24, right? Okay. So now let's do that. I'm going to make okay, and you remember that the other one I did, this is 24, this is 16. You always need to make sure that there's hierarchy and there's balance in your design. If you go and set this one 32, it will show. You would think nobody will notice it. But the truth is, by the time you now give to a developer to build it, it will show by the time you are done building. That is why I always advise, as you are designing, always preview your designs. So now let's continue. We have this. So I'm going to put this in an auto layout. Okay. Now I'm going to set it to auto. It's going to be in the middle, and then it's just going to be like this. Just like this. So now let's see. I did not set this one to auto layout. That's why. Remember, only this is an auto layout, which means I need to do this thing again. So I'm going to bring it out and then Control A. Now I have it. I'm going to give it space. We gave a spacing of what? 24. We gave spacing of 24, and the right padding spacing is what? 16. So we have this here. So I want to make it a rounded edge. You can see the curved, for the curved size, we have 16. So I'm going to make this 16. Right? And then I'm going to give it a feel of white. Now we have our what design, but this has a lot of space. Remember, because they had padding space. Now let me go and check what the padding space. You can see the padding space here is what? 16. So let's give it a padding space of 16. So we're going to come here, and left padding is 16, right padding is what? 16. You can see that we have our what? Our design ready. So this is set to fill, this is set to what? So let's see. Now it is responsive. Are you guys seeing now? So let me move this to 375 because that's like the normal frame size. Okay, it's meant to be 311 because it's not filling the size. So this is another way of doing it. I have just done it, guys. So if you don't want to do it this way, let me bring it down here. If you don't want to do it this way, you just click on this. Click on this. Use absolute positioning. Once you click on absolute positioning, you bring your what? Your design, your icon here. You can see that it's not moving past. There's a line. Once I got here, let me zoom in. The good thing about these red lines is that it helps you with alignment. So make good use of it. You see that I was trying to place it here, and when I got here, automatically there was a block. You see there's a line. It means that there's a spacing here. Do you understand? You see that there's a spacing has been set here of what? 16. Can you see? That's why it showed me that red line. It's signaling to me that I'm supposed to stop here and not go beyond. It doesn't mean I cannot go beyond. See, but it's just letting me know that a constraint or like a constraint has been set here of what? A spacing of what? 16. So now I have used absolute position to set this one here. I'm going to click on this. You see that there's the logo now. I set the logo to fill, but there's no need because logo will always resize itself. So I'm going to do what? Okay, so because what is happening now is that because this has been set into an auto layout and it has been set that way, I cannot actually do this. I did this manually from the beginning, right? But because this has already been like set to fill, so it means we have to leave it that way for it to be like this. So now we have our what ready. You can see it's the same thing. So you see, it's just two different ways of you trying to achieve. So this is like the faster method, but it's like if you're very good at what you do, you're able to walk around this. But if you're not very good yet, you just have to design it again. So you see how we have our so now we have our nav bar ready. Let's see. See that it's responsive. But there's no other responsiveness you can actually do here because this is like the last screen size. So there's no way you want to expand it again back. It's only what's front. So you can see it's going like this, but there's a problem. Can somebody tell me what's wrong here? Let me explain the problem. Why is it that when I stretch this, it is stretching like this? Can you see? Why this icon is not moving together with this? But when I stretch this, it is moving. Can somebody explain to me? I already know what the problem is, but I also need you guys to tell me what the problem is so I know that you guys are following. So why is it that when you stretch this, it moves this way? Look at, it's not meant to stretch like this. Right? The icon is meant to be moving to the left together with whatever it is. Can you see? But no, only the space is what, only the frame itself is what is moving. And the icon is not moving alongside.
I think because the auto layer is on the left alignment, stuff like that.
The auto layout is on the what?
Left alignment.
For this one?
Yeah, why it's moving? It's not. Why it's moving left right? The way when you stretch it.
But it's the same thing now. This one too is, look at, this one is by the left too. But when I resize, it's resizing properly. Can you see? So why is this one? This one is on the left too. But why is it not resizing properly? Yes, I am Abdullahi. Abubakar, sorry. Go ahead.
I think probably for this particular screen, I think the positioning is few. The position of the layout is few.
Of which layout?
Like this particular one that
is set to fill, right?
Fill, yeah. I think, and the other one is fixed. Yeah. Should that be the reason?
This is set to fill. This is set to fill. Fixed.
It's fixed.
Oh yeah, now let's try. So we're going to set this to what? To fixed, right? And let's see. Problem has expanded.
So Abdullah, yeah, I support. Abdullah, I support what you are saying, but let me finish what you started.
Okay, so let me Control Z and then go back to the way it is.
Yes.
Now,
So
continue, guys.
so the top one, the top frame, when you click on it,
This one.
yes. So not the entire frame, the Fin Smart, yes. If you notice, it is on fill,
Mm-hmm.
while the outer frame is on fix. Now check the bottom one, the one at the
Okay.
bottom.
This one is fill and the outer frame is on what? Fixed. So they are both correct.
So we need to put the auto layout part of it to horizontal, not vertical. Vertical rather, not horizontal.
Which auto layout?
Yes.
Which auto layout?
The I don't know how to put it, where the triangle facing
Is
down.
it this one? Is it the auto layout for the icon?
No, for the
This
frame.
one.
Yes, yes.
Is it this one or this full one?
The full one, yes, this one.
Okay, this one.
Yes.
It's already set to auto layout now and it's auto.
No, the triangle, yes. I don't know how to refer to it.
What triangle? This one?
The vertical section of it. No, leave the frame to the properties panel,
Oh, okay. Okay, the padding space.
not the padding space, the one at the top that has vertical, horizontal, and wrap.
Oh, okay. So
Center layout and
this is vertical. You want me to change it to
vertical.
horizontal?
So you now click on the frame. Let's see.
This one.
Now put it on. Is it vertical? Yes.
Okay, I've set it
Now
to
vertical.
vertical.
Now let's try.
You can see it's not even going outside of this. It's restricting my movement here because I set it to vertical. So thank you very much. Okay, guys, so let me explain why it's like that. Now, the only reason why it is like that is because I set this icon to absolute positioning. Remember that this and this, they're not in an auto layout. Do you know? I use absolute positioning to place this inside this navigation. So if I click on navigation here, let's move to our layout panel. You're going to see this is it, the icon itself is under the navigation menu. Can you see it? But when you click on this, you see that both of them are what? They're in an auto layout. Now that's the problem with absolute positioning. I didn't want to tell you guys earlier, but I said let me just do the two and show you guys. Which means that the best way is what? To design it like this and not like this. This is wuru to the answer if you are designing normal mobile screens. But if you want to make it responsive, you need to design it like this. So I'm going to just copy this and then paste it here. What is wrong? Why is it giving me this? It's all the corrections and corrections that we did. I think Aboka told me to change something then to try fill or fixed. Try to Control Z because we've tried a lot of errors. So this is moving this way. And then this is moving this way. What's the constraint? 311. So we're setting this to 311. Okay. So I'm going to copy this and then paste to replace. So let's try. Why is it giving me this? Okay, this is left alignment. Let me see. Okay, so now we have to figure out what exactly is wrong. Why is it going left when I'm going right? Okay. Let me try this. Okay, so this is correct, but it is not moving with the frame that is okay. Is this even in an auto layout? Okay, it is. This is set to fill. This is set to fixed. And this moves correctly. So why is this frame? We're all looking at this together. So as I am dissecting this, you're also dissecting this, and then so that we can actually find a way to fix this. Because now this is working, this is responsive, but this is not responsive. Can you see? Oh, it's not working now. It's set to middle. So how do we solve this, guys? So now we're all putting our heads together here. So I have tampered with this. So I'm going to come here and then let me see. So this particular one is set to left alignment, vertical layout. Did we even give spacing here? Okay. I'm trying to make adjustments and then let's see. So you see, it's going left. It's meant to go right. Why is it going left? Okay, this is auto layout. It's not absolute positioning now. They're in an auto layout. Let me try this frame. So this is working. You see how this is fixed and this is working. So we need to set it this way. Let me see the desktop version, because this is like the main component. Okay. This is set to fill. And then okay. Let's not dwell on this for too long. We'll come back to that. So now we're going to adjust this. We're going to adjust this, right? Remember that this hero section is in an auto layout. This is the auto layout. So we're going to change it to what? To vertical, because this is how we want it to look like, right? Now the cards. So now I have to bring this out and work on this. Okay. See, I'm trying to adjust everything. That's what I'm doing here. So this is a problem. The main component itself is set to left alignment. Yes, so I've changed it to align center. So now we have our cards. This is the first card of the text, right? So we're going to reduce this. Let's use 32. Okay. Then for the smaller cards, let's use 16. Okay. Our card is already fixed. So we're going to set it to middle, right? So I'm going to click on the image. The image is not showing, but let me resize it and see. Yes, can you see now, guys? It's still giving me auto layouts, this thing. It's meant to be vertical. Okay, this is vertical. It's in the middle. Okay. So I'm going to increase the frame. Now, let's work on this. This doesn't look too good. Remember, there's meant to be margin space of 16, right? So we're not going to give horizontal padding. We're only going to give, because normally when you're trying to design for mobile screens, remember that the margin is always 16. So I don't like that it is in the middle. Let's set it to left alignment, and let me increase this. Okay. Okay, now it is better. We're heading somewhere. So we have manage your money smarter with Think Smart. It's 32, okay. It's a mobile screen, so you see why it's giving me this stuff here is because I set this to, there's a horizontal padding space here of 16. So I'm going to remove it. Because general, the main hero section itself, I'm going to put an auto layout. So let me remove any padding space that we have there. So we have this. So we're going to set our card to what? Left alignment. Let's put it back to left. We're going to resize this to fit. Now we have this, right? Now it's remaining our card. So the card, now you know you have to click on the image itself, and then you're going to Shift K and you're going to resize the image. Why is it upside down? Did you guys notice? Did you guys notice, guys? Are you seeing that it's upside down? Is it upside down? What? It's really funny. Why did it go upside down? So let me just copy this image because I cannot start. There should be a reason why that went upside down though, but yeah. So we have our image, right? Do we feel like this is too big? This is too bold because it is mobile. So if you feel like it's too bold, you can always click on the image and resize. Okay, I think it's okay now. So we have it. We're going to set this to fit. Yeah. So we have, now let's view this and then let's see if it's going to come out well. Can you see, guys? Did it come out well? Are you guys there?
Yeah, I think the nav section is a bit
Yes,
slow.
exactly. Very good. So you
And
see how when you start designing, you're able to see what is wrong. If I did not present, I will not see that this thing is like this. That's why when you design a screen, bit by bit, always present so that you can now see. Now, something is wrong here. The spacing between here is too much because we did not reduce it because this is now mobile. So we're going to reduce the spacing here. And then we're also going to bring this down. So let's work on that. So, let me work on this. So I'm going to reduce this to 32. And let's see. Spacing is still too much. 24. Okay, this is better. Then the spacing between cards, 48. This is 16. So let's make spacing between this and these buttons to be, what did I just do? Ctrl Z. 24. Yeah. So you can see this is better now. We have 24 spacing here, and then we have 24 spacing between the cards. Okay, so now this nav bar, we have to bring it down. Okay, I think one thing I can also do is to increase the spacing up. So I'm going to increase spacing up, padding space to 32. Going to increase padding space to 48. And yeah, so it's going to be like this, but it doesn't look too good. It doesn't look good, doesn't look good. What was this padding space again? I think it was 24 bar. It's meant to be in the middle to align. So the only way is unless we're going to have to increase this. So let me remove our hero section from here. So I can deal with this. Let me deal with this. Was okay, this stuff is in an auto layout. Okay, so I'm going to move it to an auto layout, and I'm going to bring this. Okay. Exactly. This is the only way. So that means I'm going to set spacing of here. Let me see first. Okay. So this is where we have it. So it's going to be here. Yes, go ahead, Tabaka.
Like this particular design now, this for mobile, and in a mobile device we do have like aside the normal design, we
We
have
always
the
have the,
the
yes, exactly. So
battery
that
stuff
thing is
and all
meant to be here. Okay, so let's get it then. Thank you so much for that reminder. Do I have any components? Do I have any components that I can get that from? Trying to remember. I think I don't have. I can't remember if I do have. So I have to go to Figma community. So let's get it. iPhone. Can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Well, let's confirm because nobody's seen anything. So we're trying to get this, right? So I'm just going to go to Figma so I can copy it as a component. Yeah, so we have this. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to bring it in. So now we have that. So we're going to bring in, oh my God. Sigma. Okay. Now, so are we good to go?
Yes, ma'am.
So any question, guys, before I call it a day? So now we have, you can see that it looks really, really good now. Another way you can actually do this, if you want to remove this white thing, is you just change this to white and put off the whatever. I think I prefer this one. This actually looks good. So guys, so we have our mobile screen, we have our tablet, and then we have our desktop. So I've come to the end of this class. This is basically all about responsive designs. One key thing you should always notice that buttons always remain fixed, and your left buttons always remain fixed. Basically, every other thing has to be set to fail. So if you're just like I explained here when I was designing this with you guys, you see how I got my text and I put everything to an auto layout first, right? Always set everything to what to fill. It makes it easy for it to be what to be responsive. You can see that when I was trying to make it responsive here, I just duplicated. What I did was duplicated my desktop, change it to tablet. This is my desktop screen. This one is the, hold on, that I read it. So this is the desktop screen, right? I change it to what? To tablet. I duplicated it. I came here, changed the frame. Do you understand? And then just resize. If you make it into an auto layout, if you put everything into an auto layout, it makes everything easy. Do you understand? So that you see that when I brought this one here, all I did was I adjusted the size. I switched the auto layout from horizontal to what? To vertical, so that it stays like this, because now this is mobile. It cannot be horizontal. It is not iPad or desktop. Do you guys understand? Then I had to like remove all of this navbar here, represent it with an icon. So if this were to be like multiple screens, I'll prototype this icon in a way that when you click on these icons, all of this navbar will now this nav menu will show up. So when you click, I can't start doing that now because it's not prototype. But when you click on this icon, you will now see your home, your about, and every other thing. So I had to represent it with an icon. Why? Because this is mobile and spacing is small. You also need to know how to to maximize your spacing. Then what did I do else? I set this to horizontal because it's mobile. I reduced the size of my text to make it fit. My buttons remain the same. Can you guys see? So if you look at all of these, you're going to see one thing is actually one thing is balanced. The buttons are of the same sizes. If you look at this tablet and the desktop, they are different screen size, but you can see that the spacing is the same. The spacing on the navbar is the same. When I was trying to adjust this, you saw that I set it to exactly to the same padding space and to the same horizontal space. So make sure that everything is the same. When you put it on auto layout, the only thing that you have to do is to resize. That's all. I resized my image, I reduced my text size, then change up the layout, and then everything was set. So can you see, guys? So we've come to the end of this class. Do you have any questions before I call it a day? And please, nobody mentioned the assignment I gave.
We've submitted the assignment to design the hero page design. We submitted it.
Okay, so is there anybody on this call that did not do the assignment? Signify before I go and check it.
Yes, ma. Hello, ma. Good afternoon to you. Yes, I've been off for duty for a while, so that's why. So, but I'm just going to check back. Then I'll kindly revert if that should
Okay.
work.
So I think this is like the first time you're actually speaking in this class today. Do you have any questions?
Everything is a little bit hazy, but I'll just do well to listen to the recordings of yesterday because I wasn't around by that time. Yesterday, 7 p.m. I wasn't on seat, so I'll just
Okay.
have to go back and just do my thing. Then, if I have any questions, I'll drop it on the group chat.
Remember, guys, you need to take it easy. It might not be very so easy for you guys to implement all of this, but questions. They say whoever that asks questions does not miss road. That's why you have the Party Code community. Ask questions. Our previous cohorts are always there. Even if we cannot answer, they're always there to help you guys. I don't know if you guys joined the group presentation we had on Wednesday for one of the groups that had their own project presentation. So always ask questions. Even if you watch this recording and then you don't still understand, always ask questions. You can always send me a message or send a message to Mr. and say, we're all on the group, right? And say, okay, please, can you hop on a meeting with me? I'm having problem with this design. Or we can actually set up a meeting. If you're serious about this, you only have to practice to get it right. If you don't practice, you're going to keep having problems with auto layout. Do you understand? So it is when you practice that you actually get better. Yes, Albaka?
Concerning the assignment, I think I was not in your last class, so I didn't get to catch up with that, and it was not even posted on the group too.
Okay. All right, no problem. They said whoever that used, they said, and the violence take it by force. I don't want to use violence. You know, let me not use violence. I don't care. Did you do the assignment?
Yes, I did.
Hello?
I submitted.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to check on the assignment, guys, and I'm going to revert back. So I'm going to revert on the group, on the assignment, and where needs to be done or where adjustment needs to be done. Do you guys understand? So thank you so much, guys. We'll come to the end of this. There's no assignment for this because this is practically responsive. The only thing you can actually do if you want to really practice is the previous hero section design that you did, right? Just make it responsive. What I mean by that is show the different screens like this. So you do the one for desktop, do the one for tablet, and do it in a mobile format. Do you understand? So make it responsive and then also submit it. I think that'll be the assignment. That's the only assignment that can actually show that you understand responsiveness. Do you get? And then when you do that, it is also going to be an avenue for me to check the screens and make sure that it is what it is done. So thank you so much, guys, for this class. If you have any questions, you can always drop it on the Party Code community. So enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, ma.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you
You're
very much.
welcome. You're welcome.